Welcome back to the Verified Passport Bros podcast. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute. What's up? There's a lot of things happening. It's like feminists is like seeing I need content, and they're just giving it by the ton. And it's like I feel bad if I don't make content because I feel like it's for me and anybody else who wants to get involved in this foolishness. So you have from AI, then girl, but like you guys are just constantly giving me content. No, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this a brand and make this a thing for the future because it looked like we are not come back to normal. Guys, listen. If we get back to normal, I have nothing to talk about. Because what is there to talk about if things get back to normal? If women were truly in their feminine nature and men were in their masculine nature and relationship was about the other person and it was relationships weren't about what can you get, but how can I give? Because there is joy in giving, right? A man wants to provide, and a man wants to provide, and a woman wants to make good of what he provides. A man gives the woman a house, she makes a home. A man buy her groceries, she makes a meal. A man give her a seed, she gives you a child. I think it's like a woman is supposed to be an incubator. So meaning that what you provide for a woman doesn't end there. But modern feminism is like, yo, if that we are about our own business. And I'm here to talk about this business because it was once haha funny and it's now sad funny, but it's still funny and I'm here for it. So what we have on the agenda today, guys, we have I think two viral videos went viral about women in their 30s, I think, or late 20s, like 29, mid 30s, late 30s. I don't know how old these women are, coming on TikTok and complaining that they cannot find a woman. No, uh, I love it. I think I should have the feed. I should have the audio, but if I don't, this is the situation. So they can't find a man. They can't. They want love, right? Whenever you see something out of the blue, check the reaction because I can't believe anything, but I can believe science, right? Religion is up for debate. That's cool. That's fine. I'm going to tell how it correlates with this. I can't, if I believe something, then I am against something. I don't want to do that. So, what can I trust that everybody can agree on? Science, to a degree, because there's only two genders. Science would agree. Um, my thing is to every reaction there is a reaction or opposite reaction. So if you're gonna come online and be like, okay, I can't get a guy, a woman is coming online, I can't get a man, whatever, whatever. What is the opposite happening? Meaning that is it a case that if women are struggling, what's the opposite reactive force to that? Men are with it? Nope. So that's how I measure it. That's I think I have that mindset. It's one of Newton's laws of gravity or something like that. And I think it's a philosophy because it helps me to process things better. Whenever I feel a certain way, I always like, what if what's on the other side? What's on the other side? What's the bigger picture? Thinking about the opposite force, like, I think I'm butchering that law, but the idea I'm trying to say is that if the one side is true, of the spectrum, the other side is true. Like you can't have black on the spectrum and then the other side of the spectrum is still black. It has to be the opposite. That's what I'm trying to say. So do you have men coming online? I can't get a girl, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. Like how bad of a female you need to be struggling in today's dating market. Like you have to be very, very sad. Now I have mid 30s traditional attractive female friend. That's like my reference points for some things. And I was saying to her, like, when women struggle in relationships and dating, it's like, oh, come here, get some sympathy, get some sympathy, get some sympathy. You're in an awful position. Let me, like, we need to get this two together. When a man struggles for the dating market, it's a case of what's wrong with him? What's wrong with that guy? What's wrong with him? Like, ew, he's weird. He has to be weird. Like, So that's why I get females, if you're listening. That's why men don't post those videos. Because one, the moment a guy does that, he's not helping his case. He's actually making it worse. Because if women were just more honest with themselves, a lot of these issues would happen. Ladies, be honest. You're scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever you use, and you see a guy saying, "Man, I just can't get a woman. I just can't get a," like you are. First of all, in your mind, you just cross that name out. Like, okay, so you're not dating that guy. That's why guys don't do it. It just makes the situation worse. Now, as a man seeing those videos, as a 26-year-old man seeing those videos, what comes to mind? I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I could be rude and sarcastic and, comical and make jokes about it, and I wouldn't care. But I'm a little bit too grown for that. But I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care because you have females like you who are struggling in the dating market, and then you have a lot more females who is openly, you know, obsessing with the fact that they have tens, thousands of guys in their DMs. Men are sending them money. They have cash apps in the Instagram bio. Like, go together, come together and discuss a solution. Like, don't like. What is it F me for? Nah, I'm not a victim. I will never be a victim. That should be a slogan. Hashtag not a victim. Anyways, so like guys, women who do well, which is just 90% of you, go to the other pairs who are struggling and say, hey, this is the blueprint. Tell the women in these TikTok videos who's struggling, hey, this is how I get money from men. This is how I don't have a job because I get if it's not OnlyFans, just cash up in the bio. Because men are desperate, take advantage. And if men are truly desperate and you still can't get a date, how is that like how are people still so bro? Like this is why I said to her that yo, listen, I'm proud to be a man, and no matter how bad it gets for men, because real and truly, it is bad for men. No matter how bad it gets, I'll still be proud and happy that I'm a man. Let me tell you why. Because as a man, it is similar to it's similar to, for example, a lot more is required. You know, a lot more is required as a man, whether it's dating, whether it's platonic friendships, whether it's in society, whether it's in a job, whether it's in certain like a lot of situations. A lot is required from a man. A man is required to stay on the boat of the Titanic. A man is required to open the door. A man is required to provide. A man is required to keep a conversation going. A man is required to be funny. A man is required to be. I can do this forever, by the way. A man is required to initiate the date. A man is required to pay for the meal. A man is required to pay for the food. A man is required to pay for your nails. A man is required to pay for your hair. A man is required to pay for your shoes. A man is required to do this. A man is required to make you feel a certain way. A man is required to be taller than you. A man is required to be stronger than you. A man is required to have more emotional maturity than you. A man is required to have more emotional integrity, like more emotional sturdiness than you. He cannot be all over the place. A man is required to have himself started out. A man is required to know what his purpose is. A man is required to know what his life is about. A man is required to manage his friendships wise. A man is required to be a leader. A man cannot be a follower. A man cannot be a beggar. A man cannot be broke. If you're broke, you're just like a broke guy is actually worse than an ugly girl. A broke guy is actually worse than a fat girl. You know. Okay, look at it. Something that's worse than something. Well, they both can be changed. To be fair, but to be fair, like a fat girl in the gym is going to be a slim girl. That's why you never write them off. If you're gonna have sympathy for a fat girl, you're gonna have sympathy for a broke man who is both, and they're both actively changing that. But no, I'm fat phobic and I am broke for saying that. Shame. So also required for the long list again. A man is required to carry the heavy bags. A man is required to, I said, open the door. A man is required to pay for the taxi cab. A man is required to pull the chair. A man is required to solve any social issues. A man is required to protect you. Oh, we have not even thought protect. A man's required to protect you. A man's required to defend you in public. A man's required to protect your social energy. Like, social situations, he's supposed to be like, so he can't be nervous. A man can't be nervous. A man can't be shy. A man cannot be in the process. The process are for kids. That should be our feminist slogan. Process are for kids. Like tricks are for kids. Process for kids. I want to do this all day. A man is required to know how to work around the house, work on their house, how to fix plumbing, a man is required to fix electrical, a man is required to fix computers, a man is required to fix your phone, a man is required to fix your car, a man is required to fix the appliances, a man is required to fix the TV, a man is required to fix the remote, a man is required to do all hardware stuff. He just has to know how to be done. A man's required to change a tire. A man's required to know how to drive a stick shift. A man's required to, you know, um, protect, provide. A man is required to be smarter than you. Imagine like a woman in her right mind would not date a guy if he is dumber than her on a conversational basis. Not like academics and type of shit, because academics and actual education is two different things. And school just want to make you feel that they're the same thing. They're not, because there's not. You can get like school is a channel to education. It's just not the only channel. So, anyways, a man's required to speak eloquently. I like look at the Icklist. I think the Icklist on Instagram guy, that guy who writes them down on the notepad. I think he's at 600, like 600 things. Oh, a man's required to know how you feel without you telling him. A man's required to know what you want without you telling him. A man's required to know what you don't want without him telling you. A man's required to maintain your interest. Oh, a man's required to never keep you bored. But after all those requirements, you never see a nigga complaining. And I'm not sure if you're me, I'm not sure if you're listening. There's like 200 ways I just explain why a man can complain. All right, what's a woman required to? A woman is required to look good, to be good in bed. That's it. Or be submissive. That's on one hand. The requirements for females is on one hand. And you're fucking up that? Like, you can't even do that? Nah, nah. This is why I said I'm not taking the piss out of these women who can't find it. But do not expect sympathy from men. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Because this what I'm going to say can work both ways. The moment a man makes you feel confident in your femininity and in yourself, you're going to get too hype and be like, wait, I deserve more. Just as much if a woman stays with a broke man through the process and he gets money, he's treating that girl horrible. That's what most women say. That's fine. That's fine. Oh man, I should have done that I should do that. I should do a video on a man's required to do all these things. I'm going to do a video about that. Because a man's required to dress well. Like, come on, man. Like, you ain't seen no guy complaining. The thing about it, is I think feminists got this wrong. Oppression affects us differently. And I said in a previous episode, oppression makes you bitter or worse. The same thing. Makes you bitter or crush and crumble. That's what oppression does. Oppression separates the weak man from the strong man. And when you separate it and oppress them some more, you make the strong man stronger and make the weak man weaker. Yes, we can laugh at the weak man, but every other week goes by, one weak man becomes a strong man. There's more weak men becoming strong men because they realize no one gives a shit about them, so they have no choice but to be strong. So not only the strong men are getting stronger because of the female oppression, oppression from females is on the men. Not only that, but the men who are weak are now crossing the line to become strong. So firms like this is you don't want to do this. Like this is you're creating the enemy you don't want. Trust me, just keep it where you're at, you'll be fine. Like keep it a buck or keep it 50-50. Don't make the strong men stronger. That's the last thing you want to do. And the more you're like, men's supposed to be doing this for me. I'm all this and all that. Men supposed to walk on the floor like men are desperate. I want if I can get anything from men, I'm supposed to get. Like the more you do that and try to shame, the more your man shame is the stronger men get. Because what men is like this, and this is most men, and I'm the same. Okay, I always say I'm the same. If you are telling, or if you're going to be like, oh, I have so much influence over a man, and I can just say anything I want to say, and it just happens. Okay, a man's supposed to have a Lamborghini. Let's just be ridiculous. There's certain men that's going to be like, all right, bet, and they do it. But at the end of the day, it's his Lamborghini. It's his, right? You're not going to say so. You're not going to say I want a Lamborghini because you can't drive. I'm just joking. That was a joke. But I'm just trying to say you being ridiculous and the man is um like trying to match up with ridiculousness makes him better. Because the reality is this. To me, I've said this and I kind of started to say this. Every woman is the same. Being better for you in your ridiculousness, it makes me better for the next female and the next female and the next female. Like feminism has killed the uniqueness of women in the society. Like every woman wants the same thing in men. Granted, it's a lot of things, but every woman makes the same thing. Meaning that if I'm with a woman for like 2 years and I'm dedicated to her and I'm willing to improve my life for her own, like for her, like my intentions within the moment is to develop myself enough for her. And then she's like, yo, I found something better, I'm gone. That improvement I've done within that 2 years will be applicable for the next girl. It's like that changing myself for the girl who cheated on me actually made me better for the next one. So really actually there's a point in my life where I was saying to myself, like, all right, once I realize a girl likes me, move on. I'm so focused on the girls who don't like me because the more I try to focus on that and trying to make myself desirable by those women, the better I become. And the moment I convince a girl who doesn't like me to like me, I just move on because no, I'm ready for the next step. What's the next step? What's the next step? All right, you don't like me. Let me find out why you don't like me. Oh, my hair is too tall. Okay, let's fix the hair. Let's groom it. I'm not gonna cut it because you're not God. So let's groom it. Okay, no, you like me. Okay, next. All right, move on. Go away. Next girl, you don't. Next girl who doesn't like me. Okay, you don't like me. Let's see why you don't like me. Speech. Okay, let's practice speeches before we go to bed. Let's practice speaking out loud and eloquently. Okay, 2 weeks gone by, 3 weeks gone by, my speech has improved. Okay, now you like me. Okay, move on to the next girl. Okay, why you don't like me? And then after 5 girls, I have 5 qualities that I didn't have. And the reality is that those 5 qualities is actually desirable by other women. By other women. Being match ready for one woman is the same as being match ready for all women. I'm sorry. I said it and I don't regret it. Like you really find women who like take two random women in the streets. You really find women who is like contradicting in interests. For example, a woman who likes abs, like she want to say, "Oh my god, my man needs to have 6 pack," right? First of all, most women in society wants that. However, a woman who is interested in a dab body will not turn on a guy who has 6 pack. It really happens. Like the equivalent to that, the male equivalent to that, like, if a guy likes medium sized breasts or like regular sized breasts, and he meets a girl who has like 25 bra size or whatever it's called, or double J's, whatever, he's not gonna say, "Oh, those two are big." Let me say no. I'm gonna say no. No, he tolerates that shit. He tolerates that shit, right? So it's we complain, men complain less. Because the reality is this: when a man meets a girl for the first time, he find first thing that comes to his mind is what's right about this girl. Let me find things that's amazing about this girl. When a man like when a woman meets a man for the first time, the first thing she thinks is like, what's wrong with this guy? Let me see what is his faults. Let me see what is his errors, and let me see if I can cope with it. Oh, I'm not even settling down. If I find an error, I'm gone. Like the guy has to be perfect. If you are pressuring women, if you are pressuring men to be perfect and not yourselves, that's what the problem is. You're going to have like an actual quality gap, right? And the things you're pressuring men for can't change except from height, right? And my female friends have this thing called the short man syndrome, where when a guy is like a quote unquote short king, he has an amazing quality to make up for his lack of height. You're gonna cause men to do that, right? Every short man has something to offer. Now, if it wasn't for oppression by females, short man will think that he's enough as he is. But no, because you guys have to man shame us, we got better. And the reality is that the more you man shame, right? The more you man shame is the better we get. No, we can't woman shame because if we say you're fat, we're fat phobic. If we say you should be keep your body count low, we're haters. And if you ask me, no, the term haters is just somebody who says something you didn't want to hear. Yeah, I guess referees in football matches are haters now. Anyways, our judges on the X, Britain's Got Talent is now haters because you didn't win. That's crazy. So I'm just saying, like, I've said this to somebody and they didn't understand what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it here. Women and men in the aspect of complaints or assistance or whatever, in whatever, or it's like Black Lives Matter, or in this case, women are white people and men are black people, and the women are saying white lives matter. While on our end, we have police brutality, we have racism. Like, I'm not talking now, but like talking like George Floyd, like pre George Floyd place, like actual black discrepancy, like black people being slaves, or like in that time. Like, imagine you're being white with all your privileges in that time because there is a lot of privilege, you know. Um, yeah, it's like my house is on fire, but you have a smoke coming from the kitchen and you say, I don't care about your house being on fire, there's like a smoke coming from the pot. You ain't cooking right. You ain't cooking right, man. You're not cooking. That's the problem. You're not cooking. You're not doing anything about yourselves. And then you're discriminating guys who actually need help because, man, it's like you are making us better. You are making us better. You're making us a sharp weapon. Because now the average guy will be a rich guy. So now you have to like up your standards somewhere. I don't know how you're gonna do that. But the more you require, enter a woman, females. Let me explain. If you guys were actively like working on yourselves and actively like, okay, let me see how can I be better while demanding more, it'll be that's the end game. Like, you would have won. You guys would have won. But what you guys do is saying, okay, I need this. What doing this? I need this. I need this because I wake up. I went to bed last night as a 4 to 10, and I wake up as a 10 out of 10. So I need to have 10 out of 10 requirements. It didn't do shit. You didn't like that statement. If you think it's true and it's justified, will it be justified by men? No, I can't go to bed as a 4 and wake up at 10. I love to. It doesn't work like that, right? And I actually enjoy the process because the process itself makes you better. But females, man, I swear, like you guys are. How is? Do you know that picture with the baby with the boot, and he's like crying that the boot is on him, but he's on who have the boot on his head? Yeah, that's females. That's females. Like, if if the women who are struggling to find a guy, right, and find a relationship, if you had the requirements of what men supposed to have in dating, like women could not do what men do. That's just a fact. You could not do what we do. You could not have that pressure of being a man and keep it together. Couldn't. You couldn't compete. Like, I'm a man and I have to compete against millionaires, billionaires, or multimillionaires. People I have to compete against that. And I can't complain. Because the moment I complain and a woman hears me, she's like, oh, the ick, the ick, the ick. This is why guys don't have ickless. Imagine I'm not ickless and struggling to find man. Imagine I'm not ickless and nitpicking men, like things in men, and then like coming online and then complaining about you can't find a man. Like, pick a lane. Yeah, if you get what you want, you're not getting what you want. You like human beings desire relationship. We desire natural relationships.
You can't, the greatest thing we can get is the things we don't know. You can't control everything. You can't control everything. It's to know, not just not knowing what's next can I give like the joy to life, meaning that you have to have faith in relationships. You have to have trust. You can't control everything. And I think the illusion of control messes with a lot of females. I want to expound on this topic some more, but the time is going up. So thank you for listening to my podcast. It's just me just expressing myself with some videos that went viral. If you like the video, if you enjoy the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I catch you guys on the next episode.